Other news as well. Reggie Bush shared on NRL, an old NRL video. Couldn't believe how hard they were running him. And then had a second tweet saying he went to State of Origin once and it was a bloodbath. Someone getting carted off every 5 minutes. A bit of a GST on that story, Reggie. But and I wanted to ask you boys, what do you reckon a tougher game is? League or gridiron?
League by a country mile.
Okay. Timmy?
Oh, not even a question, mate. They've got every bit of protective equipment under the sun they can use.
Okay.
They also have a break every 10 seconds.
Well, that was my point. If you talked about contact, there could be an argument that NFL is tougher because they have those pads on, so they think, well, they can. They don't get as hurt when they fucking drive in with their heads and that. The problem that a lot of people don't know, why don't NRL players just wear headgears and that? The problem is that it's not about the impact, like pressure on your skull that makes you get CTE. It's about your brain wobbling around. So the argument is NFL actually suffer more from CTE because you've got blokes flying out of nowhere and their brain is going crazy everywhere. Whereas NRL at least has the protection of, I don't want to cut myself, I don't want to be head-on-head clash.
Them flying at each other head first, that doesn't make them tough, that makes them lunatics.
Matty, what's tougher?
Rugby league. And I think because like you got our forwards in rugby league who are like making 200 metres, making 40 tackles. In that game, they're attacking players attack. Then when it's time to defend, they go off and get replaced by a new team.
Yeah,
and also, I think it's also tough to play tough under fatigue. And like, you know, it's totally different when it comes to NFL. Like there's no real fatigue.
Well, that's my point as well. I think that like one of the best quotes ever, I think it was Bill Belichick that said it, fatigue makes cowards of us all. You can be the toughest guy ever. First 30 seconds, you are so fucking hard to take down and everyone's scared of the big guy. And then you look 10 minutes later, the guy's hands on his knees, he's calling for a rest, rah. And that's where I think that you could make the argument that the impact in NFL is greater, for sure. You could make that argument because they're all rested. They've got the pads on so they can go harder. But the fatigue side of rugby league, in my opinion, it makes it a much tougher game.
I just think because we're so used to rugby league, like when you think about just the fundamentals of it, that you've got 13 guys that you make them stand 10 metres back so that you can get a run up to come at them. Like it's fucking brutal.
Well, people film themselves in the backyard doing it the Run It Straight challenge. That's done every game.
Every tackle.
Everywhere, all the time. Matter of fact, you could argue that it's even worse because usually the Run It Straight, the dude tackling stands still and the guy runs it at him. Whereas rugby, blokes are shooting off the league, they're shooting off the line to hit each other. I think as a culture we're desensitized to how aggressive and violent rugby league is.
For sure.
Look, you've got MMA fighters, like UFC fighters that are like, fuck that, I don't want to play rugby league. And I'm not saying that it's tougher than MMA at all, but what I'm saying is you've got the toughest people in the world that don't want to play rugby league. And then rugby league players will be the same, like, I don't want to fucking fight. So I think fatigue makes it a bit...
And NFL players are also all built like Greek goddesses, about 125 kilos, not an ounce of body fat, muscles bulging where muscles shouldn't bulge. NRL, we've got 70-kilo Jaden Campbell running at Jason Taumalolo, getting smashed by him. It's like, that doesn't happen over there.
Yeah, no way.
They're all too big.
They're all massive. Because they can afford to be, because they don't need to be fit. They just need to be explosive.
Yeah. You also, like, if you look at the NFL, like they added an 18th game this year. Normally it's only been 17, and it's been a massive controversy over there. So you think if you go all the way to the Super Bowl, you'll play 23, 24 games. That's an NRL regular season. That's not including rep games. That's not including finals. Yep. Nothing.
And on top of that, like, they're only playing for, like, actually playing as an attacking player, like, what, 20 minutes a game? Like, actually on the field running? Maybe 30?
You don't have to play defense, or you don't have to play attack. One of the two, take your pick.
It's like footy players are literally going out there 80 minutes.
Like we're sitting here, like we would sit here and criticise a 70-kilo halfback because he can't tackle.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. And to NFL fans out there, not to say NFL isn't tough as anything, it's fucking wild, especially the contact, absolutely insane. Catching balls with blokes flying at you can't see, that's wild.
Then again, Kempy made it in our game, so...
Yeah, if I can make it, boys. I was going to say anyone, but...